Please do not evict me. I need some kind of medical accommodation and protection from stalking and violence. I feel I am being used for some kind of political, strategic, or nefarious purpose that I never consented to. Used as bait or for the purpose of telling a political story. Potentially unethical experiments or wartime simulations. A real estate scam. I can only guess. Either way, I have been treated as anything but just a person with rights like anybody else. I don't know who is around me, but it has felt like a mix of military, police, fire, business owners, building management, and the Union Gospel Mission across the street. Motorcycles. Garbage trucks. Siren vehicles. People who are not playing music, just weaponized bass. I'm not sure if people are coming from out of town or even across the country as well. Whoever they are or whatever purpose they claim to have, this was wrong to do to a person. The idea that I just needed to play along or relax and somehow things would be okay without anyone ever speaking to me directly is wrong. Taking advantage of my isolation to make things appear to be under a different set of rules while business as usual clearly carries on outside of this zone of the city. Getting this notice when it's like the social contract here has been broken since 2020 is extremely jarring and cruel. I feel like my life was taken from me. Their domestic terrorism gives me panic attacks and puts me in a distressed state. I think people are taking advantage of my coping mechanisms. I am a humanist. I am secular. I hold no prejudice against anyone. I can't even identify who has been messing with me, just that they clearly seem to be able to afford gasoline and vehicles, and found the time to be jerks. My feelings and responses are justified and I have done my best to still promote universal human rights despite everything. It is hard to find ways to defend yourself when you are anti-war, but I think I have done a good job fighting back with protest art. I'm not sure what I should say in any official capacity, but I must keep my apartment. It is life or death for me. I have been surviving under duress every day since COVID started in 2020. I have lived in Portland since 2012 and in my current low-income studio apartment since 2015. It feels incredibly heartless that I even have to write this email after everything I have been through to keep my space and everything I witnessed as protests came and went. I have years' worth of emails with the building management explaining that I cannot leave the building due to virus concerns. Then it seems people took advantage of me being inside to terrorize me if not the whole street from both inside and outside of the building on a regular basis. It would be a relief to find out the documents posted to my door were fake. It has appeared to happen before. I have just tried to stay housed. It is all I can do. In 2021 the upstairs neighbor, D. Bernie, pretended to be the police and physically pushed himself into my apartment, which I got recorded. He had flooded the studio from above back in 2018. Management had asked him back then not to interact with me. I have audio recordings of siren vehicles making jokes and buzzing the building. If they aren't authorities are not stopping them. The fire alarm for the entire building has gone off over 30 times in the last 4 years alone without any apparent reason. The authorities would have been able to see everything from outside and have let people harass me in the building for years. I also watched from the internet as the military and police beat protesters for over 100 days in 2020. I do not feel safe trying to contact them for help at all. In January, the neighbor, G. Ferguson, directly next door followed me out of my apartment and blocked my path going back upstairs. My body has deteriorated from being held up in a small space for years and I was out of breath and collapsing on the stairwell, but she would not let me pass. She was lying to my face about banging on the wall. I do not trust her even enough to try and be diplomatic. Both she and the upstairs neighbor are strangers to me. It was traumatizing. I am physically weakened. She keeps trying to provoke me for some reason. They seem to be waiting in the hallway for me to open my door when I get groceries. Most recently she or someone in her apartment bashed my window and it pushed my indoor camera over. I have a recording of the camera being moved and a man yelling. From the apartment above and next door and outside there has been banging and weaponized sound that makes it feel like I am being beaten up for years now. Back in 2020 or 2021, someone who I don't think lived in the building also pushed me into the wall downstairs and said no one is coming to save you. I have also been gassed in my space by pollution and noxious chemicals. I need to keep the window open for ventilation and virus concerns, but the room itself was constructed with the window frame open to the outside anyway. With the flooding from 2018 and everything it feels this situation was designed somehow. My feelings of being threatened are very real. I have been peacefully protesting from my room as a means of self-defense and for the sake of universal human rights. At least I play real music and news and it is not weaponized sound designed to hurt anyone. It would have been awesome to make a positive difference and actually help people. To feel like I was even wanted in the community. But it feels like people just scare me into playing protest media, I guess to just make fun of me for caring as my life falls apart, instead. I have to wear earplugs inside all the time and my eyesight has become worse than it was before. I don't even have glue to fix my glasses, but light itself is a factor. Still, I feel safer inside my room than I would be vulnerable left to die on the concrete and totally at the mercy of strangers outside. I don't want to be forced into a stranger's home just for them to do messed up things to me because I needed their help. I keep being hurt because I needed help. The point is that they and unknown persons outside have been terrorizing me in my own home for 4 years. They seem to have a lot of friends that have been circling the apartment day and night. I am terrified of them and I don't know what they will do to me. I haven't been able to leave my apartment at all. Management never writes me back when I make complaints. I have some recordings that I sent to management but they did not respond. Based on medical needs and what amounts to domestic violence and potentially gang stalking by the neighbors, I cannot leave my apartment and I should be protected from eviction altogether. I do not want to be displaced or put in another location where they can just pretend I didn't exist and as if they haven't been doing anything to me. I want to keep my home. There is a much bigger conflict of interest here involving the property management companies, police and fire, and even trying to connect it to a job I had cleaning an office building back in 2016. The company I worked for wanted me to sign a non-disclosure agreement that said I could not sue their lessees, which included the management company running my building, police and fire, and Trinked. I did not sign it. I feel that must be part of the harassment as well. Everything is connected on some level. It almost feels like a cult. Management has changed 3 times since 2020 and has overall been negligent about the building. I think they're just trying to get rid of me. There was an incident May 1, 2022 where they did an inspection and had maintenance change my fire alarm in the room. 4 days later I had the worst pain of my life and was genuinely scared I would die. My back has been messed up ever since. They have not done inspections since. It felt like the building was abandoned. I wanted to be left alone and they did. I haven't had anyone else in my apartment besides garbage pickup twice. I am terrified if I let them in they will do something again to hurt me. As if they just waited for an opportunity to screw me over. Recently, someone kept putting a bottle of a specific brand of hot sauce by my door which I think is connected to that incident and feels like a death threat. It was horrific, unforgettable pain. It would have been easy for management to see who was doing it, but it's like they aren't even here. I did not even receive the papers current management taped to my door about this eviction until October 16th after the neighbor had bashed my window. If anything, I haven't been given full notice or time. Again, please say it's fake. This is low-income supportive housing meant to keep people housed in the first place and it feels like they've spent the last 4 years trying to make me homeless instead. This is my only home. I don't have family or anyone I trust to help me. There hasn't been a legitimate way for me to work and they haven't been helping me get services. It also feels like an excuse to steal what few things I have. It couldn't feel more like a scam that was planned out for years even. I genuinely feel it will kill me to be forced outside. I have nowhere to go. Management has not been responding to emails or trying to help me at all. I cannot even get supplies. Donations of toilet paper and pads from online mutual aid groups have been getting stolen. I haven't been able to work or function or even vote. I applied for disability but could not safely access my mailbox to finish the paperwork. Today alone I have gotten 4 calls from unknown numbers, no one ever calls me, and people are outside making noise that is out of the ordinary, including fire alarm beeping sounds and banging loud like they're trying to hurt or threaten me. Whatever is going on, the authorities in the area have been letting it happen. I know every sound as I am here 24/7. It has felt like the street was shut down and they make noise outside now when they feel like it and only to be harassing. I do not want to go outside under any circumstances. Even if I try to leave for court after not walking for 4 years, I don't know that I will make it to the building. Either because I will physically collapse or because they've been waiting outside to hurt me. I don't trust leaving the apartment for them to break into it either. The idea they would replace me has been insinuated repeatedly. 2020 started with people on the street yelling get out and go home outside. I wrote the city about it but didn't get any legitimate response. I am asking for help. Medical accommodation and protection from stalkers. I should also be protected in an asylum capacity under Portland's anti-discrimination laws for non-believers. Article 25 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of themselves and of their family, including food, clothing, housing and medical care and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond their control. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. I am not crazy and should not be considered dismissible in that way. I've had negative experiences with mental health services and it is insulting to push me off on them. I am not on any substances either. I am a cannabis medical patient and licensed bud tender, but have not been able to afford medicine. I must be able to defend myself in court from my home via the internet at the very least if I cannot be physically present. My room does not feel private enough for conversations over the phone. I can send recordings I have, I didn't include them in this email because they're too large to fit into a single message. Is this email sufficient? All I have is my phone, my computer died. This has genuinely felt more like a choose-your-own-adventure death camp instead of a city block. It has taken all my time and energy to just protect myself. I'm supposed to be a writer and I can't get any creative work done, much less plan for tomorrow. I just get through one day at a time. The PTSD I had to begin with has been made much worse. I have only been able to survive. Please do not send anyone to my apartment. It is terrorizing. How could anyone not be concerned after watching over and over as unarmed people are shot when they interact with police? Portland taught me eviction is murder. Please do not evict me. Please do not kill me. Please respond via email. If the document is possibly fake, print it off a home computer, that would be an enormous relief. It wouldn't be the first time. Please confirm. Thank you for helping me keep my home.